Welcome to another live episode of the Eric Crocker Show. I'm your host, former NFL and AFL defensive back. And of course, we're talking all things San Francisco 49ers, including the extension. All right, we're going to do things a little different today. We're going to chill out. All right, we're going to chill out, have a nice little long little layover. All right, we're going to talk 49ers. We're going to talk the contract extensions between Kyle and John Lynch. Did they jump the gun? Or should they have done this? And I'm going to bring y'all on right away to discuss just that. Appreciate everybody that's in the chat right now. You know what to do.
Like and subscribe this video.
Yeah. All right, shout out to everybody in the chat right now. I see Ray Dizzle 209 Lodi. I hate to break it to you, Ray, but there's only one real 209, and we know that's Stockton, California, man. Let's go. All right, but appreciate you being in the chat. I see the flames going up. Petty AF in the chat with the flames. Jay with the flames. Let's go. Jacob with the flames. I think everybody feeling good right now. Let's go. Robert with the flames. And I think y'all should feel good because one is always good. And good morning, Nelly. All right. It's always good when the 49ers win and the Dallas Cowboys lose. Now, I think if I felt like the Cardinals were going to be more threats throughout the year, I might feel a different type of way about it. But at the end of the day, the Cowboys lost, and I get to talk crap to my brothers. All right, listen, I tell y'all all the time about the group chat. And in the group chat, they just act like the Cowboys are all like high and mighty. And I'm not saying the Cowboys aren't a good team, and maybe this loss is a one-off for them. I don't know. All right, but I do know one thing. It's like, bro, y'all act like y'all shit don't stink. Y'all act like you can't do no wrong. And when the 49ers are playing on Thursday Night Football, you should have seen my call, man. Y'all don't even look, y'all ain't that. Like, bro, we're winning. We're winning. I got on here and I talked about the 49er fans and how I felt like they were kind of whining a little bit, because the 49ers got off to a slow start, right? In the first half, it wasn't amazing, right? Everything wasn't perfect, but it's like, bro, we are winning 17-6. We got 17 points in the first half. Like, I understand it's not the flashiest brand of football, but if you would have seen my group chat and these Cowboy fans and how they were talking, oh yeah, we're gonna crush it. When we beat that team, we'll 49ers, they ain't good. Look, man, y'all don't look good, blah, blah. I'm like, bro, we're gonna score 30 points. Score 30 points. You went 30-12. I'm not impressed. All right. Y'all lost to Arizona. And I'm not saying Arizona is this bad team. So far, every game that they've played in, they really had chances to win. They could, just as easily as they are now 1-2, they could have been 3-0. All right. Arizona, they barely squeaked out a loss in the first game. Like, they were winning in week 1. Week 2, they played the Giants. They were up big at halftime. The Cardinals jumped out to a big lead, and they just didn't score again and barely lost, like by 2 points or 3 points, whatever it was. But they didn't score again after halftime, and that's tough. But people are talking about Arizona, and I get it. And I don't think that they're this big, formidable opponent, but it is the NFL. And that's why on here, that's why on Twitter, everybody was talking about the Giants as if it's just a team to just overlook. I'm like, look, man, in the NFL, you don't overlook teams. All right. You don't overlook them until you can overlook them. And what I mean by that is, when you're up big, then and you get the feel of the game, the flow of the game, that's when you could be like, you know what, like, okay, yeah, we got this in the bag. But prior to the game, weird things happen, and it started off right away for the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, the game just started, then boom, Dobbs rips up a 44-yard run. They had some explosive plays in the game. Rondell Moore, what's the guy? Burst outruns everybody to the end zone. Like, weird things can happen at any time. It's the NFL. And I have tried to kind of prepare y'all, not for the 49ers that have that type of loss, but just things. 49ers played in Atlanta last year. Like, I was there. Atlanta is definitely a team the 49ers just handled, just beat. Mariota threw one incompletion all game against a really good defense, the number one defense in the league. Fumble return for a touchdown. Weird things happen, right? So I never overlook any opponents. The 49ers slowish start against the Giants, to me, it was just that. I always felt like they were going to win, but you can't overlook any opponent in the NFL. It's not college football. Now, college football, there are times when maybe you can overlook an opponent because, well, I was going to use Alabama, but I don't know. But in college football, there's like a bigger disparity between like talent and the gaps, just the amount of talent one team has. So you can overlook a team. NFL, you just cannot. You just have to play well on that day, and then the rest would sort itself out. All right. Now, I think a couple of people, and I'm going to bring you guys on right away. So you guys know what to do, man. Hit the link in the chat. Come on right away. Let's talk about this. And the thing I want to talk about is this contract extension uh, with Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch. And to me, I asked my co-host Brian Peacock, of course, we're on Locked On 49ers 5 days a week. I said, was this out of nowhere? Like, is this something that we should have known about or heard about? Like, were there any rumblings or whispers about the 49ers about to extend Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch? Because it came out of nowhere for me. And I was asked about it this morning on 95.7 The Game. And I'm like, they asked me, Bonta Hill was like, what was your initial reaction? And my initial reaction was, why? Why extend them right now? You don't. And now they probably have a great reason as to why they extended both of those guys. And I love what they're doing with the front office. They're in lockstep. Everybody's ready to go. They're on the same page. That's amazing. It's kumbaya, great feels, all of that. But I felt like, why do you have to make this move right now? I love this front office. I think they do a great job, Kyle and John. But they haven't won the Super Bowl yet. And I'm not saying that they don't do a terrific job because they haven't won the Super Bowl. I think because of those two guys, we know that the 49ers will be in the mix, right? Because of those two guys, if the 49ers don't win a Super Bowl, it will be a disappointment, right? But it feels as if it was kind of a panic move. I don't even know what kind of move it was because it came so much out of left field. This is a team that initially had 6-year, and I say team, I mean Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch. They had 6-year contracts from the start. All right, 6-year contracts. They were re-upped pretty quick into that for like another 6 years or something like that, or another 7 years, whatever it was. So they had like the stability and everything was there. Did you have to do it? Peacock asked if it was about money. All right, Peacock said, well, maybe they're looking at what other coaches are getting, their GMs, and they're doing such a great job. Let's extend them, and now they make more money. Maybe that's what it is. But that's the part I don't understand. So I put the link in the chat, and maybe y'all can come on here and help me find out why. Why did they extend them right now? And they're doing a great job. But why extend them now when you don't have to? I could be missing something. Hopefully y'all can come on and let me know. Appreciate everybody's in the chat. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Of course, every show is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. All right. Right now it says double your initial deposit up to $100, but nah, man, nah. When you use promo code Crocky, they double your deposit up to All right, I am back. How do I remove this one? I don't know what the heck just happened, but all the power just went out. I don't know if we having an outage or what. All right, but we're gonna keep it rocking, and I'm just gonna do everything from just the laptop. All right. So I'll still bring y'all on, but I definitely don't know what the hell just happened. So the lights go off behind me. I'm like, hey, why do I know? I don't know. Anyways, that was crazy. But Underdog Fantasy promo code Crocky, they'll double your deposit up to $500 right now. All right, up to $500. So make sure y'all do that. And follow me on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. I do these things where if you're a subscriber of my Twitter account, I give out plays. I'm giving out, just what I'm doing for the day, things you should be looking out for, what players, kind of some trends and everything that we're seeing. All right, so that right there, big benefit to following me on Twitter at Eric_Crocker. And yeah, made a lot of money this week. I think I came up $1,000, something like that, over the last couple of days. So definitely be on the lookout for that. All right, here we go. Here we go. Coming up now, we got maybe our only guest because I don't know, the situation is weird. I'm using my hotspot. It's not strong enough service in my opinion, but here we go. We got Shunda Boy coming on. Shunda Boy, how you doing? We won't be long today, but
All right.
I definitely got you, man. What's good? How you doing?
How are you doing, Croc? It's been a minute. I missed you.
Yeah, man. I don't know what the heck just happened at my house, but that was hella weird.
Y'all good?
I think so. I don't know. I gotta check with the people in the office or something.
So I missed a little bit of the beginning. I wasn't sure kind of what you wanted to talk about. Do you have anything
Really?
specifically? Hmm.
Yeah. The only thing I really wanted to touch on, and maybe you can shed some light on this. Why did the 49ers extend Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch right now?
So two things. Actually, it's funny. I was actually just watching the coach and Krug watching their show, and they're kind of going back and forth about it. One of the things that I think people fail to realize about the difference between Jed York and Eddie DeBartolo specifically, but Jed York as opposed to a lot of other owners that are at the top of the league, is Jed York is about the business and the money first and winning championships second. Winning championships will help elevate the team and will bring up prestige. But at the end of the day, make no mistake about it, if you go back and look at how much the franchise was worth when he took over, and then look at how much the franchise was worth when John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan took over. Okay. And it's it's gone up way more in the last 7 or 8 years, or whatever, since these guys have been here than it was previously to that. So he's paying them based off of the $1 billion that they have made him. On top of that, Kyle Shanahan, his agent, is looking around the league at all these guys. Do you know where Kyle Shanahan is right now in the pecking order of top paid coaches?
No.
So he was at like 8 or 9 when he was at 10 million a year. I think he's up to like 13 million a year with this extension. I think that's the numbers that I heard. Please don't quote me. I haven't looked deeply into that, but I believe 13 is the number that I heard. If that's the case, there are 2 coaches in the NFC West that make more than him, which is Sean McVay and Pete Carroll. They both still make more. But this pay increase puts him above Mike Tomlin at $12.5 million, puts him above the Andy Reid, the John Harbaugh, who makes $12 million. Kyle Shanahan's looking back like, bro, I'm 3-0. I just beat Mike Tomlin. My team is better than the Ravens. Okay, we have these other coaches in the league that are making $2-3 million a year more than I am. No. I made you $1 billion. I need to get my paycheck, and I'm not waiting until the end of the season. Because if we miss the playoffs because of an injury to a couple of key guys, that happens. It's football. Now all of a sudden I don't get the pay right. So I think it's more of his agent saying, no, we're not waiting until the end of the season. We want our money.
And that would make a lot of sense. In the chat right now, I see outside the echo chamber, he says, with saying Kyle and John Lynch were on the hot seat a few months ago, discredit one from taking them seriously. I don't know. I mean, listen, everybody has their opinions. I never felt like they were on the hot seat with anything that they were doing. I mean, I always felt like we can agree or disagree or agree to disagree with some of the way they went about certain things, but Kyle Shanahan being on the hot seat would be more of a hot take for someone, I would say, because I just never saw it that way. Like they're winning way too much. And for Jed York, again, we talk about the money. Like they are making him a lot of money. So I never felt like they were on a hot seat. They're winning a lot of games. I think he really likes their personalities, and he probably meshes very well with them. We saw them hanging out, having drinks. It looked like Jet York was maybe drunk, hanging out with them, talking about he loves them. So, hot seat, I think that's people kind of maybe trying to make something up about Kyle, especially now. Like maybe if you had told me this 2 years ago, before they went to back-to-back NFC Championship games, when Kyle only had one winning season in 4 years. But now, absolutely not.
You and I talked about this last year. If you remember, after they came out 3-4, they came to the bye week, and you and I talked about this. And one of the things that we talked about was, I'm not saying Kyle isn't a good coach or even maybe a great coach, but is he the coach for this team to take us over the hump? He's gotten us this far. Can he take us the rest of the way? That was kind of the conversation you and I were having last year when we got off to another slow start. We're like, okay, can he, and I think that conversation is very different than a hot seat conversation, right? He's obviously not on the hot seat. He is in I don't want to say lose the rest of the games, but like we'd have to miss the playoffs this year and probably next year for him to actually be fired. Like it would take a lot of losing, and I don't see that coming with this team anytime soon. We have at least 2 years with this core together, unless we get hit with a 2020 type season of injuries. Even if we lose 2 or 3 critical guys, we're probably still going to win half our games. Our team is that stacked.
Yeah. I just don't see it happening. It would have to be something drastic. And if you go back to kind of Andy Reid and when he left being with the Philadelphia Eagles, it was kind of like that as well, right? Where, he went on a run. He was really good for a long period of time. And then all of a sudden it went south, and then he had a 4-win season. And it's like, there's our out. And they let him go. They brought in Chip Kelly. So it would have to be something drastic like that, where you lose a lot of games even while having like a healthy roster.
So I think the thing that people forget about that team is that team fractured inside the locker room and inside the building. So all the stuff going on between T.O. and Donovan McNabb, and there was a lot of controversy around Donovan McNabb kind of on one side of the line and then other players on the other side of the line, obviously T.O. being one of the more vocal members of that. But that whole locker room had kind of split, and the team was kind of split. So the ownership kind of took their opportunity to move on, not because they didn't think Andy Reid was a good coach, because they felt like they kind of needed to restart and recharge with a new voice in the room and stuff like that. Kind of felt more like he had lost the locker room to a degree, not completely, obviously, but there was so much going on as far as that stuff goes. I think that played into it just as much as the losing when it comes to Andy Reid. And I think that that's going to be the sign of whether or not Kyle's actually on the hot seat. When we start to see this locker room start coming apart a little bit, when they start to lose some of this veteran leadership over the next 2 years, right? As the Trent Williams retires, as we can't pay a Deebo Samuel anymore $25 million, as we can't pay an Eric Armstead $28 million, as those things kind of start to happen, is the culture and all that stuff going to continue and carry on? If it does, I have a hard time seeing this coach and this general manager not here as long as they want to be here.
Right. I think that's a great point there. Man, Sean the boy, appreciate you coming on. I'm going to get out here early today, so I can get all this stuff situated. But
appreciate you,
take, man. And we'll probably come on and talk some more about this tomorrow.
Awesome.
All right. All right. Shout out to everybody that tuned in. Obviously, I got some streaming from my phone. There we go. I'm cutting in and out. We're going to get out of here right now. Appreciate everybody's in here. I'll get this figured out, and I'll be live later today or something like that. But we'll continue this conversation. But, yeah, man, until next time, I'll see y'all. Thanks for sticking around. Peace.